Hello everyone, with the Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Sunday evening, October 27, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season, that's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below, letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. And we can see that as of their latest update that just came out at 7:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so almost 30 minutes ago, we see that we still have that area across the southwestern Caribbean. It was a code yellow yesterday evening. Now it's up to a code orange, which basically means there is a medium chance of development, a 40% chance at that. And if we read right here what they've stated in their recent update, they've said a broad airflow pressure is likely to form over the southwestern Caribbean Sea in a few days. Gradual development is possible thereafter, and a tropical depression could form late this week or over the weekend while the system begins to drift northward or northeastward over the southwestern and south central Caribbean Sea. And we see that they've given the system a 0% chance of cyclone formation within the next 48 hours. That's the next 2 days. And a 40% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. And we know that if it forms, its name would be Patty. So we're going to be looking at the latest runs from the Euro model and the GFS model. We're going on to the next 168 hours. That's the next 7 days, just like what the Hurricane Center would do. And we're going to be focusing our attention across the Caribbean for all of these that we see on the right, the greens, the yellows, the oranges, reds that represent all of the rainfall in inches. So let us see what has changed. This is as of the latest run of the Euro that came out this afternoon. Let us see what's going to be taking place. So clearly as we head into Monday, 9 on Monday is 4 a.m. We still see that the frontal system is expected to continue to bring more moisture to portions of the Greater Antilles, into portions of Central America, Jamaica, especially northern Jamaica will continue to get that rainfall. Even as we head into Tuesday, we still see a lot more greens across the Caribbean. Wednesday, even more. Thursday, look at all of the moisture across the Caribbean, even to the south of Jamaica starting to build right there. As we continue to go in time, Friday has a lot of the moisture focused across the southern and southwestern Caribbean right there. And then, as we wrap up the 168 hours, let's stop right there. We start to see that broad airflow pressure that the Hurricane Center is talking about. We can definitely see the big isobar of spin, and we can see the L that represents an airflow pressure with all of the moisture in and around it. So there's something that the models are predicting that's going to be formulating. Well, the Euro is based on their latest run. Let us see what the GFS is showing for the same time period. So as we continue to go in time, just as stated on Monday, 1 p.m. on Monday at that, we still see a lot of greens coming into portions of especially northern Jamaica, lots of moisture. So too, the same on Tuesday into Wednesday. Look at all of the moisture to the south of Jamaica. We're starting to get a build-up of some kind of isobars and airflow pressure, yellows, oranges, red. This is by 18Z on Thursday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Thursday. And as we continue to go in time, we see the GFS trying to develop something. We didn't see the Euro showing something like that. So we have some differences still, some things to iron out on the GFS and on the Euro model. But as of right now, there's nothing being shown on both maps in terms of a very strong system. Just one big broad airflow pressure on the Euro right here to the south of Haiti, to the southeast of Jamaica. On the GFS, definitely a bit stronger right there to the south of Hispaniola in general. Lots of moisture either way is the takeaway regarding this broad area of low pressure. Lots of this moisture stretching into the northern portions of the North Atlantic, right there to the north of the Caribbean, and we see that on both the Euro and the GFS models. So regardless of development into Patty, we see that there's going to be a lot of rainfall that's expected. We see the dark reds, we see the purples, the pinks, the salmon colors that represent anywhere from 2 all the way up to 6-7 inches of rainfall. And keep in mind that this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are showing all of the rainfall that's expected from now up until Sunday, November 3. All of the rainfall expected in the next 7 days. So there's a lot of rainfall that's expected across the waters of the Central Caribbean if whatever happens come to fruition. We also see that there's still a lot more rainfall expected across northeastern Jamaica. Look at all of those purples, salmon colors right there. So definitely Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, Trelawney definitely going to be in for a lot more rainfall before all is said and done. Even if we don't get Patty to affect us, but we have to stay updated to see exactly what unfolds, because right now the models are a bit all over the place with the location as well as the intensity. So as soon as they have some more consensus on what's going to be happening, more than likely by the end of this week, the forecast is a bit more accurate. If we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can still see that frontal system that's responsible for all of the rainfall across especially northern Jamaica, stretching all the way from the Greater Antilles all the way up into the northern portions of the North Atlantic. Another frontal system right there across the southeastern United States. We see a tropical wave right here to the west of Jamaica, a tropical wave right here across the eastern Caribbean, and another tropical wave right here across the waters to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands. And to the north of the tropical wave, we have a ridge of high pressure. And we know these ridges of high pressure are responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. And with these easterly trade winds, we have the tropical waves coming in from Africa as well as the dust coming in from the Sahara Desert. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can definitely make out the clouds associated with that frontal system into portion of the southeastern United States. We can make out the clouds associated with that other frontal system, bringing a lot of cloud showers and thunderstorms to portions of the Greater Antilles, including Jamaica. We can make out the clouds associated with the tropical wave, although it's very weak across the eastern Caribbean, the clouds associated with the other tropical wave across the western Caribbean, and the clouds right here to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands associated with that other tropical wave. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Sunday, October 27, 2024. It was stated that more rainfall was in the forecast for parts of northern Jamaica last night into Sunday morning, and that would have had some afternoon rainfall affecting sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes during Sunday afternoon. And just for reference, northern Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes on top, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. Eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, so St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Catherine. While western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening? We woke up this morning to the infrared satellite images being posted here on our Twitter page. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, but they're also made on our Instagram page at weather.jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So yes, this morning the infrared satellite images were posted and they highlighted the clouds. We can definitely see the low level flow of these clouds coming in more so from the east-northeast, and then we had bursts of thunderstorms across portions of Portland and St. Mary. We saw the sparkling white dust that we know represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. And as the day progressed, we still had a lot of clouds. Another post is made at 7:56 a.m. highlighting the clouds still bringing overcast skies and isolated showers, not only to northern Jamaica, but some of this was definitely spilling into some southern parishes. Sections of St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth were getting in on some of that bad weather for sure. Some isolated shores right here to the south of St. Thomas 2. Then as the afternoon progressed, at around 2:35 p.m., the infrared satellite images were posted highlighting the high code cloud tops as well as the visible satellite imagery that shows the clouds on the south side of the island. So we did indeed get some clouds down there as well, some isolated showers across portion of some central and western parishes, but the focus was on northern Jamaica where we had those high code cloud tops. We saw the sparkling yellow dots, if not the sparkling white dots, that we know represent some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. We saw the high cold cloud tops as represented by the blues, greens, yellows, oranges, reds, blacks that represents the cumulonimbus clouds. So we definitely had that thunderstorm activity, especially across northern Jamaica, anywhere from Portland westward. St. Mary, St. Anne, Trelawney, section of St. James and Hanover too, but most of it was confined to central and northeastern parishes, so north central and northeastern Jamaica for sure. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can definitely make out that flow across the island, more so from the east and northeast. Definitely brought the clouds to especially northern Jamaica. And even before all was said and done with the day, we're still getting on some more isolated shores, some thunderstorms right there across the waters to the southwest of St. Elizabeth. And we can see that even better on the latest infrared satellite images. Look at the thunderstorms to the south of Westmoreland for sure. Look at the sparkling white dots right there. The high cold cloud tops being sheared off towards the east and northeast, just as predicted. And even although it looks like it was dissipating, we were still getting in on some thunderstorms lashing portions of Portland right there before the last frame. But if we take a look at See Jamaica's YouTube channel, this is the live cam of Crossroads, and if you don't know by now, we have a partnership with this channel where they show live streams of the corporate area halfway through the Kingston Harbor, you name it. I would implore you to subscribe today so that you don't miss out, because they are planning on increasing the amount of cameras that they have in and around the island. So we can see that at around 3:10 p.m. Crossroads was looking more so cloudy than anything else. We saw most of the clouds, especially across the hills of northern St. Andrew, and a lot of that rainfall was definitely on the other side of the island, across northern Jamaica for sure, even though we can make out some of the isolated showers on the hills or at the top of the hills right there. We can make out that whitish kind of color right there that represents the rainfall. But for the most part, the corporate area was on the rain shadow side. We were on the dry side. If you remember yesterday, we talked about relief rainfall and how it was that's bringing a lot of the rainfall to portions of northern Jamaica with that northeasterly flow. Well, the south side was dry, and this is the type of weather pattern that we normally receive during the winter months, from December through to March in general, when we have the cold front. And considering that we have a cold front, well, a frontal system right now, not necessarily a cold front, it does explain the drier than average conditions across the south coast, while the north coast is definitely wet. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, although this map isn't 100% accurate, it does indeed paint quite a picture of how we had the rainfall today, especially across northern Jamaica last night into this morning, and southern parishes during the afternoon, more so central and western parishes than anything else. And we definitely have some confirmation of the rainfall. As a matter of fact, we have this video clip right here from Dotty_Jonkro_official_page highlighting some kind of landslide that some persons were mistaking for an avalanche. But we can definitely see that even that house right there is at risk of being, washed into the river, if not getting damaged, whatever the case may be. It is said that this might have been up in Gordontown in the parish of St. Andrew. Not sure how accurate that is, but it could be understandable considering that up there in the northeastern or northern portions of St. Andrew, definitely getting in on some amount of rainfall for the past couple of days, with all of the rainfall coming into northern parishes. So this is definitely understandable. Hopefully the people who live there are actually taking the necessary precautions, because we don't want to hear anything bad coming out of all of this. If we take a look And some of the comments coming in here. One comment from Fest Genius on our Twitter page, light rain. This was posted 11 hours ago, 7:04 a.m. in his era. Sean Reynolds stating raining in St. Andrew. Jennifer Coolin Speed stating it really has not stopped raining in Ocho Rios since yesterday. Constant thunderstorms, still raining. Even on our Instagram page, are the comments coming in. Jamaican underscore Empress 91 getting rain currently on the north coast of St. Mary. Another comment coming in here from First Lady underscore Amanda, raining here in Mandeville. Another comment from Rena underscore Automatic or Atomic stating St. Mary hasn't gotten a break from the heavy rains. Make matters worse is the roadways have not been debushed in months. And finally, Janine Pottinger stating rain from Thursday until now. I live on the Spanish Bridge area. And if we take a look at the very latest still image, let's see what's happening right now. The latest image just came out at 45 minutes past the hour. So that's about 6:45 p.m. So that came out 16 minutes ago. We can still make out the thunderstorms right there to the southwest of St. Elizabeth, to the south of Westmoreland. Some isolated thunderstorms right there to the southeast of St. Thomas. Some clouds with some showers in there to the northeast of Portland. And if we actually match it to what we're seeing on the latest Cuban Doppler radar images, let's reload these images so that we have the very latest. And the very latest image just came out at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this just came out 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago. We can definitely make out that rainfall to the southwest of St. Elizabeth, to the south of Westmoreland. The greens, the yellows represent some moderate to heavy rainfall. Some isolated showers affecting sections of Hanover as we speak. That rainfall that we just saw to the north of Portland, we can see the clouds. Even although we don't see the colors, we can see the clouds, and the Doppler radar confirms the rainfall. The Doppler radar also confirming the rainfall right there to the south of St. Thomas right there. So that indeed confirms what we just saw on the infrared satellite image. So some rainfall could definitely be in store again for a portion of northern Jamaica. We see all of this rainfall looking to be heading in the direction of Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne for sure. So expect some more rainfall tonight. Even the Guantanamo Bay Cuban Naval Radar Station confirming some rainfall right here to the west of the western peninsula of Haiti, heading for portions of northern Jamaica. Some rainfall across eastern Cuba as we speak. The Cayman radar showing some rainfall right there to the southwest of Grand Cayman. Some rainfall just like how we saw on the Cuban Doppler radar to the south of Westmoreland right there. But if we take a look at what's happening right now across halfway tree, definitely some dry conditions. Look at that. People going about their business. Nothing bad happening right now. No rainfall, anything like that. But who knows, maybe that could change. Maybe some of that rainfall that Portland is to receive tonight could spill into portions of St. Andrew. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow. Maybe especially tomorrow afternoon. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we have 26 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Monday, temperature should dip down to about 25 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18th on Monday when calculated. That's about 1 p.m. on Monday. And we can see Jamaica right here embedded in some slight yellow colors that we can see from the key on the right. That represents up to 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of October are about 89 degrees Fahrenheit. When calculated, 89 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 31.6 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 31 to 32 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Monday. So we always have to try our very best to beat the heat. Ensure that you stay indoors and make use of fans and air conditioning. Always avoid alcohol and caffeine as they can make you dehydrated. Limit the non-essential strenuous activity during the hottest parts of the day. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to always stay hydrated. Put away the sugar drinks. Drink lots of water instead if I were you. If we take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Monday, we can definitely see the line of Saharan dust that's still left back across portions of the Greater Antilles, but all of that is definitely dwindling as we speak. We still have some Saharan dust right here across portions of the main development region, but all of that definitely going to be dwindling, even though the ridge of high pressure is going to be pushing some of it from east to west. What we're grateful for is that these days most of the dust coming in from Africa has been dwindling the more west it goes, so by the time it gets to Jamaica it's dying out. We're glad that we're not seeing that dark shade of brown that we know can cause very hazy skies, not to mention trigger some amount of asthma or sinusitis in some persons. If we take a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, still not much change. The lighter shades of blues to darker shades of blues across much of the Caribbean. That represents anywhere from 0.5 meter wave height all the way up to 1.5 meter wave height. While it's that spot right there to the north of Panama, to the north of Colombia with the purples, that has the highest wave heights in the 2 meter wave height range. And that's because the winds are going to be strongest in those spots. We see the yellowish kind of color that represents anywhere from maybe 20 to 25 knots. That's what we see on the key on the bottom right. Well, we have more of those brighter green, that's anywhere from 10 to 20 knots. And we can definitely see that flow across the Caribbean, coming in more so from east to west. That flow across the Greater Antilles right here, coming in more so from the northeast right there, which explains all of the rainfall in the north coast. And if we take a look at the wind forecast for tomorrow across Jamaica, we definitely see that we're still in for more of that northeasterly, if northeasterly flow. So more rainfall at that. We see more of an easterly flow on the south side right here. But look at that. Look at where we have the least amount of winds. Look at where we have all of the air that's going to be piling up across section of some southern parishes again. So look out for that if you're living on the south coast. All of those low level clouds coming in from the east northeast would definitely pile up again, becoming mid-level rain clouds, if not upper-level cumulonimbus clouds for portions of northern parishes, then spilling into portion, well, in the morning, and then during the afternoon, across section of some southern parishes, right here, anywhere from Westmoreland eastward, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, maybe St. Thomas getting in on the mix in terms of that afternoon thunderstorm activity. As usual, the morning rainfall, anything coming off of the sea for portions of northern Jamaica, if not tonight, into tomorrow. And with the upper level winds coming in continuously from the southwest, it's definitely going to be favoring more of that rainfall across northeastern Jamaica for sure, just like what we had today. So look out for some isolated flash flooding in those spots. And as such, the rainfall forecast maps are in consensus with the rainfall that's expected for northern Jamaica. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both valid for 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 10 p.m. Jamaica time. And we see all of the blues, even the greens, represent some rainfall across the waters to the north of the island. And given the east-northeasterly flow, all of this could definitely make it onshore for sure. So definitely sections of St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, getting in on some rainfall tonight. As we skip ahead to about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 8 a.m. Jamaica time, we still see much of the same. We see some lighter shades of blues, but it's more confined to northern Jamaica on the Euro. GFS a bit more robust with the darker shades of blues, a stronger signal for some rainfall in the morning across northern Jamaica for sure. Then look at this, the afternoon brings some rainfall to portions of some central and western parishes, and not only central but even eastern parishes. So it's the same as today's forecast. Rainfall northern Jamaica tonight into tomorrow. Afternoon rainfall for portion of some eastern, central and western parishes. And it's going to be like that because we have that upper level flow from the southwest, so it wouldn't be safe to say afternoon rainfall for southern Jamaica, because northern Jamaica still gonna be getting in on some amount of rainfall for sure. So we can see it right here. Western St. Thomas, maybe section of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, still to be getting in on some amount of rainfall. And we see that on both the Euro and the GFS malls, even as we head into 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 10 p.m. Jamaica time. We still see the blues represent rainfall, more confined portion of northern Jamaica than anything else. So even into tomorrow night, we're still getting in on some amount of rainfall. And both accumulated forecast maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus with this. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Monday. Not saying that's going to be raining from now up until then, but these are the spots that are going to be picking up the most rainfall. Western Jamaica and the slight reds on both the Euro and the GFS maps. Sections of especially northern Jamaica, almost an inch of rainfall on the Euro. GFS something similar with all of the heaviest rainfall out to sea. The purples, the pinks are representing anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of rainfall. And we'll definitely take it. We're in the month of October. We're in one of the wettest months of the year for the island. In Montego Bay, whose bar graph is being shown here at the bottom, we usually receive up to 8.5 inches of rainfall for the month. That's almost 212 millimeters of rainfall. In Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually receive up to 170 millimeters of rainfall for the month of October. That's what? 7 inches of rainfall, if I'm not mistaken. So you can do the math yourself, considering that we have a nice little graphic right here that converts rainfall to inches, from millimeters to inches. We know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. So yes, you can do the math when you actually visit weatherandclimate.com to find out what your specific parish receives throughout the year in terms of rainfall. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So, as stated, we have the clouds bringing some rainfall to portion of the Greater Antilles, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Southern Bahamas, section of the Turks and Caicos, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, section of Jamaica, sections of Central America for sure. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, we can definitely make out what's happening. Not much taking place across the Leeward Islands right now, but some rainfall right there between Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, some rainfall across northwestern Puerto Rico. We can also make out some isolated shores for the waters to the east of Guadeloupe, some rainfall right there to the east of Dominica and Martinique, and we can see that even better on the Barbados radar, showing that we have a lot of hit or miss isolated shores coming into portions of Martinique as we speak. So too St. Lucia, St. Vincent, not much across the Grenadine Islands. But we do see that rainfall coming in from the east to affect portion of Barbados. Scrolling down, you can also see some rainfall coming into portion of Tobago, maybe section of Trinidad getting in on the mix. And if we take a look at the weather view of Doppler radar images, we can see that rainfall to the southwest of the Cayman Islands, like how we mentioned earlier. Some rainfall across section of Honduras, northern Guatemala, the Yucatan Peninsula, section of Belize. Some rainfall across Colombia, section of northeastern Venezuela getting in on some of the action. And regarding where all of the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, we can clearly see much of the Greater Antilles, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, eastern Cuba, the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, the Yucatan Peninsula, northern Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, sections of Colombia, southern and western, and even northern Venezuela. Don't see much taking place for Guyana, Suriname, or French Guyana. We can definitely make out some isolated shores in store for Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, Guadeloupe for sure. And we know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.